A lot of massage places have very long names.
In in hindsight, I wish I had chosen something different. But when I was in massage school,
Yeah.
in business class, it was to come up with a name, and I was throwing ideas up against the wall, and
I like all these ideas.
yeah, and so Peaceful Strength came together for me because
Yeah.
of the fact that massage is something that's peaceful and supposed to bring about relaxation. But I've got a background in personal training, and I really like to incorporate ways people can stretch and strengthen, because I believe that's so important in being healthy and pain-free. So the two words kind of stuck together for me.
That's awesome.
And that's where it came from. But, now I wish I could just have Lisa Poole Massage Therapy and be done with it.
That'd be easy. It's a little self-branding.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we're kind of getting into the past a little bit. So let's talk about what led to what we're doing now.
Well, as I said, years ago I was a personal trainer, and I really loved working with people and the benefits of health and athletics and so on. But I had to have a grown-up job for a little while. I had new windows to help pay for, siding, mortgage, the whole bit. So I worked for United Healthcare for, I think, 8 years, and sitting in a cubicle drove me crazy. And I wanted to get back into working with people and helping people. And we've got a good friend of the family who got into massage in her 40s, and I was in my early 40s at the time, where I was trying to find an escape route from the cubicles. And I just, talked to her and said, all right, I'll give massage a try. And within a few months of school, I realized that it really was kind of a calling and what I was meant to do. And so here I am 6 years later.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I really like that. Let's talk about your business. You got Peaceful Strength Massage Therapy.
I'm a therapeutic massage. I'm not a spa. Most people come to me for some type of pain. After they've been coming to me for a while, they may come in for relaxation sessions, but most of the time people are coming in for pain treatment.
Okay.
From your everyday athlete who's dealing with lower back pain, shoulder pain, elbow pain, to people who are sitting at a desk all day long who are dealing with neck and shoulder issues. Most people, it's definitely pain-centered. I'd say about 95% pain and 5% for stress and relaxation.
Okay. So you're different than a lot of other massage therapists.
Yeah. I believe in the power of touch and the power of positive touch. And in today's society, I don't think we connect with one another enough. And I think it's real important to have that positive touch. And massage is very therapeutic based, and a lot of people think of it as a luxury. And I like to say that massage is a necessity disguised as a luxury. We really need to connect. We really need to touch one another, appropriately, mind you. And it's very beneficial. From pain to just the sensation of having somebody connect with you on a different level. And we're so disconnected nowadays with all of modern technology and texting and emailing and computers, and we don't connect and sit down one-on-one and have a conversation anymore. And I think massage is something else that is also needed.
I like that. Yeah, because I've heard many actual stories of children who don't get any type of physical contact for a while after they're born and develop very wrong, I guess. I shouldn't say wrong, but you know what I mean. Down the road, and then
there's a book. Oh, I can't think of the name of it. It's written by a psychiatrist, and he studied babies who didn't bond with their parents and followed them through life and the different things that happened to them, from eating disorders to drug addiction to just bad behavior in classrooms as they grow up, to just all of these things due to the lack of bonding. They've done studies at orphanages where children who don't get held as infants, the mortality rate is outrageous. So touch is really important.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, so you're a woman. What's it like being a woman in the entrepreneurial world? You own your own business, you're successful. Like, how does that work out for you?
I had no real business experience when I got into this.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, I worked for United in corporate America in a cubicle. I wanted out desperately and jumped in with both feet. And there was a huge learning curve. I don't know if there is a difference between men and women when it comes to being an entrepreneur, because I'm just been winging it for the past 6 years, honestly. There's a lot to learn. I thought, okay, I'll have to learn bookkeeping and accounting, but when it comes to the marketing aspect of it, it's huge how important it is to be able to get outside of your comfort zone and get out there and network. I know that's how we met each other, is to get into the networking, along with the social media and developing a website and advertising on Facebook and having Twitter accounts and Instagram accounts, and there's so much to learn. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have any reference point to say. It's just I've been learning as I go, and it's quite the adventure, to say the least.
I always grew up knowing I wasn't going to do well in traditional employment, and I was right. Yeah, being an entrepreneur is better.
Yes.
Especially for, I guess, our personality types.
You have to be a go-getter. You have to be able to initiate and take care of things. You can't be one to wait for direction, or your business is going to fail. Yeah. To get out there and meet people, and to get out of your comfort zone. It's the first time I went to a networking event, I thought I was going to have a heart attack.
Talk about your move a little bit, because you were in Manchester originally.
Yep. And
you moved to Bedford.
Yes.
Awesome. So how's that been?
It's been fantastic. My first location was inside a gym over on South Commercial Street. I met the gym owner while I was still in school. He had a room, and I just went for it. My room was outside of a powerlifting area, so it was not quiet and it was not relaxing, to say the least. It was also in the basement of one of the mill buildings, so there was heat and damp and cold, and I was there for 6 months, and then I moved over to Silly Road, and I was there for 4 years. And that change of location was good. And it got to the point, because I was just renting a small room and I wanted more space. And I started asking around and found a realtor who showed me this spot, and it's perfect. I've got the waiting room now, my office, a bigger treatment room, and the change in location's been fantastic. Everyone loves the area. It's really easy to get to, plenty of parking. And people feel safer here in Bedford than they do in Manchester.
I see that.
Yeah. But Bedford's fantastic, and I love the fact that Whole Foods is 2 minutes down the street.
Healthy, yes, healthy. Well, I'm a fan of healthy, though. We're distant friends. So I guess we're talking about moving forward. Like, what are we looking to do with the business? Growing, keeping the same size?
I'm going through growing pains right now. My schedule is really booked most of the time, where I'm getting phone calls and I can't get people in as soon as they would like to. Part of me would like to hire, but I don't know if I want that responsibility of having an employee.
Yes.
As a business, there is so much involved in having an employee, all of the additional taxes, the additional paperwork, and then the headaches that can come along with an employee. I've heard so many stories of how difficult it is to hire and have somebody that works well.
Yeah.
So I'm torn about hiring somebody. I would love to at some point in time have a practice that had 3 or 4 treatment rooms and 3 or 4 therapists. I'm just not sure I'm ready for that headache.
Gotcha.
It's a lot of responsibility to have to fill the books for somebody else.
Yeah.
So I would like to grow, I would like to expand, and then part of me is scared to make that next step.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, definitely.
you
Yeah.
know, if I hire somebody and they suddenly call in sick and they've got a full schedule and I have a full schedule, am I now working a 14-hour day?
Yeah.
You know, or am I calling clients and rescheduling them? And I don't know if I want that yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do want my business to work for me instead of me owning my job. I've heard people put it that way. Do you
Yeah.
own a business or do you own a job? And sometimes I feel like I own a job more than I own a business. Because if I'm not working, I'm not making any money.
Yeah.
And that's the downside of being a solopreneur, as they call it,
Yeah.
instead of an entrepreneur. Because if I get sick, if I go on vacation, there's no money coming in.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I just, I took a little vacation and it was fantastic to get away. I needed to get away from all of the stress, but there was 4 days with no money coming in, so
Yeah.
that's hard.
I feel your pain on that one.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about what goes on here. So we kind of know massage.
Mhm.
We help people who have pains. So what's the actual experience like?
When a new client books an appointment, their session is a little bit extended compared to a normal session, because I like to be able to spend some time going over their health history, talking about the issues that they've got going on, and then at the end of the session to be able to kind of cover what happened and what I recommend for future appointments. I tend to be a little more sports-minded when it comes to the massage, so I encompass a lot of stretching, a lot of compression work. It's a little bit different than you might find at some other therapy areas. I take all of the training that I have and I kind of combine it into a session. And it all depends on what I find in the area as to what techniques that I use. So that kind of differentiates me from some of the other therapists. They will have their treatments as in, oh, it's a relaxation session or it's a deep tissue session, or I don't do that. You book a session and it's 60 minutes and you come in and you tell me what's going on. You can come in one time and say, oh, I've got a real neck issue, and the next time come in and say, my lower back's bugging me. So everything changes every time that you come in. So every session is a little bit different. As I said, I encompass a lot of stretching, and because I've gone to other therapists, I've yet to find a therapist who does the stretching and the compression work that I do. And I also give recommendations of homework and things that people can do on their own when they leave. Stretching, strengthening exercises, how to use a foam roller. And I think using a foam roller is kind of a self-massage tool. How to use a tennis ball, another self-massage tool. So I want people to come in as a business person, because that's what I'm in business for, is to make money. But I want people to get better. And I know that massage is expensive. So I want them to be able to do self-treatment at home so that they don't have to come in as frequently, and so that their pain gets better, because that's the whole point. I don't want people to keep coming back and coming back being in pain all the time, because then I'm not doing my job. I'm not a good therapist if somebody's in pain. And massage, exercise, stretching, diet, that is all going to make a difference in somebody's quality of life and their pain. So I really like to educate people on ways that they can be healthy, to help prevent pain and to take care of the pain.
It's really cool. A lot of people can use that.
Yes, a lot of people can use it. And I think sometimes people are a little surprised when they come in, because I will say, hey, here's an exercise that, you can try, that you can do, or here's a stretch, or, somebody will be, I like to call them everyday athletes, who go to the gym on a regular basis, and they say, oh yeah, I use a foam roller, but I'm not sure how. Well, I'll sit down and spend a few minutes and show them how to use a foam roller. I've got videos on my website that link to different people that I found on YouTube that have some great stretches or some great exercises, because I really believe it's all important, that you have to do it all. You can't just sit behind a computer all day long and come in for a massage and think it'll magically go away. You've got to put some skin in the game.
Okay. Let's talk about fears. Fears and some things that keep people from coming to a massage therapist. I think that's it's an issue people probably have.
Well, for some people, they don't like to be touched. I've had lots of people who've never had a massage before, and somebody buys them a gift certificate, and so they finally come in because they feel guilty because somebody bought them, and then they go, oh my God, this feels so good. I can't believe I've never had a massage before. But they're afraid of being naked. And I tell people all the time, undress to your level of comfort, or don't undress at all. I can have people come in and they're fully dressed. I say, come in your athletic wear, and we can do a total session in shorts and a t-shirt. So if people are afraid of having to take their clothes off and be naked under a thin little sheet, you don't have to be. You can come in and you can be clothed. And I can do a complete session that way. So I think that's one of the fears. There is the old happy ending discussion, and that's something that you talk to any massage therapist, and boy, oh boy, that boils our blood. Knock on wood, I've only had 2 creepers, I'll say, walk through my doors, but most people, because of the fact that if you look at my website, you understand that this is a business. It's therapeutic massage. Some people are afraid that massage is going to hurt, and massage shouldn't hurt. You'll hear people talk about, oh, they had a deep tissue massage and it just hurt so bad, but the therapist said it would feel better afterwards. Deep tissue massage isn't about pain, it's about working those deeper layers. So I think that's kind of a misnomer. It shouldn't hurt, because if I'm causing pain, what we're doing is we're activating the nervous system to protect the body. So if I hurt you, you're not going to relax at all, and those areas of discomfort are going to stay tight and tense because I'm causing pain to that area. So it should never be painful. It might be a little bit uncomfortable because of the fact that it's already an area of discomfort. So it might be slightly uncomfortable, but it should never be painful. And so it always drives me crazy when people come in and say, oh, I had a massage down at Cancun and the therapist was kneeling on me and it really, really hurt. What the heck are they doing? That's not therapeutic at all. So it might be uncomfortable because of the fact that the tissue is already grumpy and already carrying some discomfort, but it shouldn't be painful at all.
Okay. So where can people find more about you?
I'm online.
Okay.
I've got a website, I've got a Facebook page, I've got a Twitter account, and Instagram.
Awesome. That's good stuff, yeah.
I haven't done Snapchat yet. Oh, and I'm on LinkedIn too.
Okay. So I will link to all those
Okay.
in the comment sections as
Okay.
well, so people can find you. So thank you so much for being on the show with me today.
Thank you. This has been awesome. It's been easy.
Hopefully.